Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today I've got a little treat, a little mid-summer's afternoon encounter episode. Before we get into today's upload, though, a couple links. As you know, I rely on my Patreon, my PayPal, and my merch to help this channel to continue to grow and go. All of those links are in the description below. I also have a second channel for creepypasta, fanfiction, and scary voice acting. Stories that, well, they really don't belong on this channel. Now, if that's anything that you're into, follow that link and give those stories a listen. You may just like what you hear. Now, I've taken enough of your time. Let's get on with today's upload. Shall we? Today's first encounter comes to us from Maryland. My friend Will lives off this highway, somewhat deep into the woods. It doesn't take much time to get to his house, but there's plenty thick woods surrounding his home and neighborhood. We were driving home from his friend's house around 11 p.m., and my friends in the front seat saw this creature cross the road. They said it was like a capybara, human-like face, a very long neck, no tail or ears. It walked like an ape. It looked like a human trying to walk on all fours. They said that it had no real defining features that seemed to be disproportionate and unnatural looking in general. And that it had human-like legs. They didn't see the feet. It didn't have much fur, but the fur there was kind of like a short-haired dog. It had a large humpback, like it could stand and walk normally at any second. My friend Will also actually saw the creature of the same description a few years back. I've been trying to find an animal that it might be, but my friends keep saying that it's not it. I've looked up some other popular cryptids like the Wendigo and crawlers, but those don't seem right. It had animal features, but also some very human-like features. If anybody can offer any information on what this could be, I'd really like to know. Today's second encounter is a Dogman encounter. This is my aunt's story about an encounter she had with a weird-looking wolf in northern Michigan. I'm living in Houston, but originally from Michigan, Metro Detroit area. This is the story my aunt told me and my cousins a couple years back. When she and her husband first moved to Michigan more than 2 decades ago, my cousins hadn't been born yet, so they had a lot of time on hand. They decided to take a weekend getaway along with 2 other friends to go sightseeing at a lake in northern Michigan. She doesn't remember exactly how everything happened then, but told us they were encountered by a pack of wolves and had to retreat to their cars. She did notice one was exceptionally large, almost the size of a cow, among the pack with black fur and a very mean-looking face. She didn't mention anything about the wolf standing on 2 legs or anything, just looked like he's the big boss of the pack of the other wolves, and they abide his commands. They surrounded their car for a couple of minutes growling and howling before my uncle decided it was time to get the hell out of there, before the big black one came for them. She didn't remember exactly the location the encounter happened, but based off my research, wolves can be found in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and Isle Royale area, so it must be around there. Today's third Dogman encounter. So a little backstory before I get into the good part. I grew up outside of Chicago, but spent my youth summers fishing, camping, and canoeing in Minnesota and parts of Canada. After college, I spent over a decade in the Army and spent a very good chunk of it overseas. Through all that, plus the recreation travel, I've seen a lot of things, and the purpose story of this post still has me perplexed as to what I saw. Now I'm currently living in southwest Louisiana, working for the sheriff's office where I live. One night, approximately a year ago, I was patrolling through a small town where I live, and I saw something. I still have no clue what the hell it was, but I saw something. I had just made a turn, and as I was heading through this small town, which happens to have a decent amount of wooded area throughout the town, I saw something run across the road in front of my unit. The only way to describe what I saw was like this. It was black, it had a bushy tail similar to a German shepherd in proportion. It was running on two legs, but it ran hunched forward, similar to a raccoon. The problem is, this thing back was higher than the door-mounted rear-view mirror on my Charger. Now think about this. That's, 3.5 feet? Whatever I saw, I swear to God, was like 6 feet long, running like this. So it runs across the street, maybe 25 feet in front of my unit. And as soon as my brain processed what I just saw, I turned around as fast as I could and turned my LED scene light on. Whatever it was gone. So, here's where it gets actually interesting. It was probably around 2 in the morning or so when I saw whatever it was. About an hour afterward, I swing into a local gas station to check on the night shift clerk. We get to talking, and he asks me the usual, how's the night, any good calls, anything crazy tonight? I respond saying, yeah man, I saw something, and it was weird though. I had just turned off the highway to head south through the town, and I'm not really sure what I saw. The clerk, mind you, I haven't described what I saw or anything to him because I didn't want to sound crazy. The clerk proceeds to tell me about how a few days prior he was riding his bike home just after midnight and how he saw something as well. He goes on to describe the exact same thing I had seen. I literally stood there dumbfounded and didn't say a word. I honest to God have chills every time I think about this. The clerk looked at my response to what he described to me and literally said, "Oh shit, so you saw it too?" Thank God, I thought I was going crazy. I've told the story to my brother, who is really into Bigfoot, Dogman, lizard people scene, and he thinks I saw a juvenile Dogman. What do you guys think? Well, just a little bit of mid-afternoon treat for you guys. I got something planned for this evening, but I wanted to get something out to you. The first encounter, I don't know why he was looking up Wendigos and this and that. I really think that he saw a possibly juvenile Bigfoot, if you ask me. Just the way he described it. And as to the last encounter, a juvenile Dogman, makes a lot of sense as well. We're so used to hearing these encounters with full-grown Dogman Bigfoot, and that's how we envision all encounters should be and are. But these juveniles have got to be accounted for sometime. I mean, there's got to be a sighting of them every once in a while. They can't be just sheltered by their, whoever takes care of them, their mom, dad, whatever. The second encounter. Now, ever since Luke and I had spoken, I've been thinking about the black Dogman that he encountered. And I wanted to share this one because this black and Dogman in this encounter was very similar. Could it be the same one? Probably not. Possibly, but probably not. I did hear an encounter a long time ago, and it was before I got into rambling. So I never shared it. I was talking to somebody, and they said that they were in Washington State. They had been tracking Bigfoot, and they believe that Bigfoot uses the old volcano caves or lava caves to hide in and stay safe. He said one night he and a couple other people were in the woods and they saw what appeared to be a full-grown Bigfoot about 10 feet tall, a juvenile Bigfoot about 7 feet tall. A big noticeable difference in height. And he saw a Dogman, a brown Dogman, approach the two, sniff the area, and take off. Shortly thereafter, he sees this huge black Dogman go up against these two. And there was no problem with the juvenile or smaller one. A little bit of a challenge for the second one, but they both ended up not winning the fight. I don't know if they died. I don't know what happened, because he said during the battle between the larger Bigfoot and the large Dogman, he left. But when he left, that black Dogman was tearing apart the large Sasquatch. So I'm not really sure what's going on. Luke and I did have a very detailed conversation last night in regards to these cryptids, just throwing ideas off of each other. So anyway, I did get a message from Luke today. As you know, he's staying at his aunt's house, his wife's aunt's house. He went to the house during the day to get more of their stuff. And like I said, he's moving hundreds of miles away. He's actually moving states away. And I believe I said that last night. So we went to grab some stuff, and he said the agents are on the property. An RV was parked there, and a few SUVs were there as well. He got his stuff and left. With heavy burden, because he is going to miss that property, but he feels, just like the rest of us, that he's got to keep his family safe no matter what. So that's the latest. Hopefully the next thing I hear from Luke is that he has landed where he needs to be and is safe, and that'll be that. So with that, guys, thanks again. I will have something up tonight for you guys to listen to. I just wanted to give you a little snack in the middle of the day. And with that, I'm going to bid you farewell.